Well, first of all, thank you for joining us today, taking the time. My first question is, could you introduce yourself and tell us what people should know about you?
Sure. My name is Shakeel Ahmad, and I did my master's in social work from Sacramento State, and I got my bachelor degree in law as well. And I did my social work, practical social work. I did my medical social work, working with drug abuse rehabs, and also with some psychiatric departments as well. And also, I'm a small business owner, so I've been doing small business for almost like 18 years successfully. So now I'm doing commercial real estate.
What made you want to run for mayor?
Actually, I've been living in Stockton for almost 2 decades right now, so I've been seeing all these different things, all these issues, the problems my community is facing. I was a part of it also, because I just started from the scratch, and built myself up in the last 2 decades. So I was just looking at these issues, and I mean, everybody, whoever comes into the office, they were just saying that we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and it was just mostly theoretical stuff, like the one we saw, or like the one we just read in universities and colleges, So there was hardly any practical work. And when I saw those issues, like I've been working on it, most of them, and as a social worker, I said it's possible if somebody's doing it with the right intention. So that's why I just jump into this politics, and I said, it's a good time right now for me to help my community.
Speaking of issues, what, in your opinion, would be the top issue and why?
There are a lot of issues, but the common and the most common issues, as we all know, the first one is homelessness. The second is which people don't concentrate on them, the youth. Our youth is going astray, they're going different ways, they are joining the gangs and all that. And for me, I have so many good plans for them. If we control our youth, through the positive stuff, like we have different programs for them, give them some technical education, some good education from the bottom, and then when they grew up, they will be so beneficial to the community.
And in dealing with youth, is there anything that you think that the mayor or city council could do to kind of promote that?
Definitely. A lot of people, they told me that, why were you not running for the city council? I said, since I was not ready before, so I've been studying all these things, and since I was a social worker, like a practical social worker, I helped so many families, so many different people, they were having issues. And when I talked to them, when I utilized all my experience and practical work on them, it worked. And there were so many people, I helped them out, and their issues was resolved. And I said, if I do that on a large scale, when I have the city resources and all that, and the city's on my back, definitely. Homelessness is one of them. Right now they're just spending tons of money on the homelessness, and we hardly see any, any outcome of that. It's spreading day by day. So what I'm saying is, if I get into an office, I have practical solutions for that. They can, I'm not saying that, I'm not claiming that 100%, but I can reduce that. If it's 100% right now, I can reduce that by 25% in the first year.
And would that be by working kind of one-on-one with people individually?
Definitely, because a lot of times what happens is a lot of our officials and the elected members, I don't, honestly speaking, when I was doing my campaign, I've been going through different businesses, and I was talking to different people in the streets, in neighborhoods. None of them, the people who were born and raised here, they said we never seen anyone on the ground, that who came and talked to us about any issues, about any problems or something. You are the first one we're seeing one-to-one. So I was kind of hey, that shouldn't be the case. If I get elected, I'm gonna be on the ground with my people. And that's gonna be on regular basis. So I can go talk to them, discuss, like what issues they have, what problems they have, and then, like talk to my team about it and just try to resolve it. It's possible, but it needs good intention, and definitely needs a plan also, and I got a plan for that.
And I also want to touch on another big issue for voters as well. A big concern is crime. How would you go about using the kind of limited authority of the mayor's office to make any changes when it comes to crime in the city?
And that's even that, like people are mentioning it's like a big issue. It's not a big issue. Honestly speaking, like if I have all the resources and if I have the power, I have the team, I'll just sit down with all my team members, like with the city council members, basically everyone, the chief of the police and everybody, and I'll talk to them and I'll sit with them, and I said, like, just from the beginning, like what issues we have. Where are the problems at, which areas are like the red tagged areas, and what I'll do is I'll have like mobile teams, if we have limited resources, what I'm gonna do is, I'll have some volunteers, we train some volunteers and we send them to all these different, first I think we have enough police officers, if we need some more, we can recruit some more, because this is the main issue. If people are if they're facing all these issues, they're not safe, then there is no point of, the main thing is like food, safety and all them things, for and housing. These are the things. If like a regular, like a resident of a place, if she's not getting that, then it's like all this effort and all this run is for nothing, It's just like big claims, but doing nothing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send all these teams to different areas, the red tag areas, and have them monitored on. And then also I'll request, all the residents, of those areas, and have them work with us, communicate with us, but the response should be fast from our side also, from the police department also. It's not gonna be like when you call someone as a business owner, when we used to call people, the police department, they will respond in hours, I know they were busy and they have limited resources, but we will work on that, and we will try to, give them more resources and all that. That way we work together and, have control on the crime. It's possible, it's easy, it's not difficult. And then on the other side, when we work on our youths and all that, they'll be out of gangs, they'll be in schools, they'll be getting technical education, and we give them, when you teach your kids, from the lower bottom, hey, that's what you're gonna be in future, You wanna be a president, you wanna be a mayor, you wanna be a city councilor, or you wanna be this guy right there. When you teach them, on videos, right now we have all these things, like social media, a lot of, all these resources. You can show them, we'll set up different programs and different places for them where establish different places for them where they can come, and they can, we'll have to help them out, and teach them what to do and what not to do, So definitely it's possible, and it's under control, It's just like I told you before, it needs a good intention, and definitely it needs a little hard work in the start, but it's possible. But to me, honestly speaking, that's why I came into this race, because I didn't see any practical work.
And speaking a little bit about policing, like you mentioned there, you said that you believe that Stockton PD has enough officers currently?
No.
Okay. So
it doesn't have enough. What I'm saying is when we sit down together, because right now, honestly speaking, there might be me and you can just Google stuff, and we can just see, what are how many officers we have and what's the. But when you get into a system, then you can face to face ask them, hey, what do you need? What are your problems? What are your shortcomings? What what you need from the from the city, the resources and all that. And we will definitely provide them, because I know Stockton, those police officers, they work hard, and people blame it on them. Just like I mentioned, oh, the police is not showing up. It's not their fault, because it's almost 322,000 people in Stockton. How are you going to control them, with small resources and with little police officers? So just like they're saying right now that we're short of so many police officers, I'll definitely, have the city, recruit those officers give them more benefits, more, resources. That way, they can work hard, and we work hard with them also. We'll teach our, our residents also that, hey, you have to cooperate with the police department, because they are on our side. They are the one who's protecting us. So we definitely be with them.
And that answers the question I was going to ask you about policing issues with that. I also want to talk about homelessness. That's another big issue, as you mentioned, among voters. The city spends millions of dollars every year trying to address that. What do you think the city is not currently doing, or what would you like to see changed in its response?
Again, as I mentioned, I was just like, seeing one of them videos about homelessness. Actually, this thing, I was asking different buddies of mine also, and different people on the streets also, hey, what we can do about homelessness? And they were like, everybody was giving their own opinions and everything. Honestly speaking, I'm just right now, saying this on the media. It's possible. And when I talked to so many people, they were like, hey, are you sure? Basically one of my voters, I was talking to her, and she was like, oh, if you eliminate or you reduce homelessness, that would be like awesome. You will be like, everybody's going to vote for you all the time. I said it's possible. And the possibility for that one is see all these, I was just seeing that they, last year or year before, the city of Stockton got almost $60 million for reducing homelessness. And if you see, if you Google that, for the past 4 or 5 years, millions of dollars, like 2.5, 2 million, 3 million here, 3 million there. Think about it, if we have if I come into office, what I'm going to do is I'll sit with all the, with the officials of City of Stockton, and I will tell them that, okay, this is the issue we have, and it's possible, we can resolve that. And how we can resolve this, we will see, what budget we have. If, let's say, even if we have limited resources, there are a lot of people I meet, and they want to volunteer. So what we're going to do is we will have a volunteer force. I'll create a volunteer force, if we don't have enough resources. If not, if we have enough resources, then we'll recruit them. And we'll send them to different areas, where we have homelessness. I am a practical social worker. So what I can do is I can even train them, or I can hire some social workers who can train those volunteers or the task force, So what they're going to do is they will go talk to these homeless people and motivate them to come to the shelters. So what we're going to do is we will create shelters all over for them. Have them motivate and just bring them over there. If there are people, I know there are people in there, they are mentally not well, so we will just take them and give them some kind of take them to the different departments where they can be treated and all that. And if they are let's say drug abuse, I worked with the drug abuse people, so I know if you take them to the rehabs, they will definitely can be treated over there. So the thing is, and then there are other ones, they have family issues, or if we work on them, especially the social workers, they can work on them. Trust me, they can fix their problems. And me, I don't want to see no one on the streets. So what I will do is, if I see someone, let's say we try to bring them over there, the other thing is that the local laws, should be implemented. That's the main thing. It's not we bring someone in, clean him up and all that, and then he just leave and he start doing the things again. No, we will just bring him over there, give him some kind of all the stuff he need, if he need medicine, or if he need food or clothing or anything, we provide them a shelter and everything. And then we will just give him some kind of education, where to bring him on track, to make him a good citizen. And it's possible. Trust me, it's possible.
So it sounds like more social workers, more shelters.
Yes.
And have you taken a look at the city's budget before?
I just like, to me, like, like when I look at the city budget, to me it's more than enough. Trust me, it's more than enough. I mean, why I'm saying this, because, I started from the scratch. Like, like when I started my own business, I have only $3,000 in my pocket. So, like, I mean, there were a lot of people, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this. Even right now when I was running for the mayor, like, oh, you can't do this, it's hard, and it's this and that. And I said, hey, I want to do it. I mean, whenever you want to, like, if you are climbing a mountain, you have to start with the first step. It's just like, I mean, there are a lot of people, like before starting something, they will just say, I can't do it. And I'm the person, I'm always hopeful. I mean, I talk to so many people, and I'm talking to you right now, that I can at least reduce this, like if not completely wiping it out, I can reduce this homelessness by 75, 80%.
Kind of in line with homelessness, the next issue I want to talk about is the quality of life here in Stockton.
Yes.
The city conducted a survey back in 2023. It found that 70% of people felt an excellent or fair quality of life in Stockton. That 70% of people, is that number okay to you? And if not, how would you like to see that changed?
I would say, like if we work on our youth, because, like as a business owner, when I was dealing with all these youth basically, and like, I mean, there were so many like kids, they grew up in front of me, So I was like, like, and trust me, like when you talk to them in a positive way, they will, if they don't respect other people, they will respect you because you were nice with them. So if you, like, I mean, just like I told you, like we have to work on, have a lot of different programs for these youth and bring them to those programs, help them out with different things, give them technical education, business education and all that. So when they finish their high school, they will definitely start with either their own business. I will give them some classes as well, like voluntarily, and I'll train other people, and I'll get some other social workers who are trained social workers, and they will, and we will hire some more like teachers, or like practical people with technical education, Think about it, like if you give education to someone, like, I mean, let's say, like, I mean, a technical education about like electrician or like plumber or something, when he or she finishes the school, I mean, there are a lot of different things, like, I mean, they can start by themselves, just like I started. And it's possible, trust me, it's possible. And it's with respect. So then when the youth goes to these things, when they have concentration on their education and all that, I have friends of mine, they were in bad neighborhoods, like, they were like, oh, we wasted our life, but, their kids, trust me, their kids right now, they're getting 4.0 GPA. One of my friend, like from the neighborhood, like he was like basically like my customer, and then like he was my friend. He was like, like he was saying this, that he was in like with some bad people and stuff. But then I was so happy for him that all his kids, like the teenagers, and he said one of his daughter, she's only 10 years old, she's straight 4.0, and she wants to be a doctor. And I was like so happy for him. I was like, man, that's the way to do it, bro. Because he said, I was ignored, I was raised in a bad neighborhood and all that, and now, I don't want my kids to be like that. And when you ask me, like, I mean, I want this community to be on top. So we have like, we have like this place in front of you. I want to make this place like a vibrant place. So people from Bay Area, Fresno, and everywhere, they all come and stop by over here. We'll have so many, I can make this like an amusement park. So where people can come and like pay for it, and I mean, but we have nothing going on, just like a few homeless outside and nobody wants to come. So that's the problem, So there are a lot of things like, I mean, and it's not difficult, it just needs a little commitment. All the officials sit down, and, like think about it, like, like, hey, we want to get done with all these problems, and it's possible. It's just like all the times when I hear about them, they're like, oh, we have these issues and we have money problems. When I see these millions of dollars, I was like, man, if somebody can start a business with $3,000 and then, like he goes up with that, come on, it's not a big thing. It can be possible. It's possible, basically.
And you mentioned your business experience there. You kind of come from that background. A lot of people most people would consider you kind of an outsider in politics. Do you think that will help or hurt your campaign? And what would you say to voters who are kind of skeptical about your lack of political experience?
Honestly speaking, right now, a lot of people, they're like, the people, they don't know me, they are just like, hey, who is like Shakeel, And I just want to let them know that, just like you, for example, you started with ABC, right? So if you, let's say you are applying for a job, and the first thing they ask you is like, do you have any experience? How are you going to get experience, when you just come from the university or college? That's what they were asking, and that's why I started my own business. When I applied for almost like, I would say 200 jobs. And wherever I used to go, like, do you have any experience? And sometimes I would ask them, like, how would I get experience, if you don't hire me? So the thing about that is, world is changing right now. See, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and all of them people, they started with something and now they are something. Even, Mark Zuckerberg, if you would have asked him back in the days, hey, do you have any experience? He wouldn't have invented Facebook. But you give him a chance and then he will do it. So I'm not I don't have a background of politics. But, I believe in practical stuff. Give me this task. I even talked to a few people, when I was in the forums, and I was talking to them. I was like, I don't know who's going to win. But I'm just telling you that any one of you win this race, hey, I'll be a volunteer with you, and I can, resolve these problems and issues for my community. Not without any money or something, I have ideas. If you guys want to listen, and if you guys, are working on that, we can definitely, just like I mentioned you, like there are, a lot of these people, and then just like I mentioned you, these things, like when our youth are good, we can create so many jobs for them over here. Like I can, if I can, as a single person, if I have a team and they train them, for different businesses and stuff, these youth, even if they are just come from high school, they will have their own business. The only thing is you give them motivation and you give them a push from the back. Because a lot of them, they get lost. They don't see nothing. If they don't see nothing, they're just going the easy way, where to get the money easily. And easy money is always, you're working hard, I'm working hard, he's working hard, Easy money is always, hey, give something and take something. And when they go for that, that's not the right way.
But it sounds like in your case, you're interested in regardless of the outcome of the election, staying involved in helping out.
Yes, definitely. I just want to render my services, free of cost. Definitely, yeah. I just want to serve my community, and I don't want to see these youth, because when these youth, when they grow up, then we just blame them. Oh, I hate them and this. I told you, I seen them, like some of them kids I've seen, they grew up in my hands, Bro, they were so like from all the ethnicities, they were so good people, nice, good, like little kids. But they grew up, and just like I told you, they're like, I've seen so many, like, they respect me, but they don't respect other people. Why? Because like when they were kids, I was nice with them. And when they grew up, all the society and everything, they kicked them out and, like different places and stuff, they didn't treat them good. So they're now like with the harsh behavior, I don't want that happen to them. I want to just teach them where they can just be on the right path, where they can serve their community, help their mom and dad, help their families and all that. And we work as a community, man. All these, it's just like, like people, like when they talk about different things, like they're like, like different ethnicities and all that. To me, like I always mention that. To me, like there are like, like two religions, one is good and one is bad. Two ethnicities, one is good and one is bad. That's it. If you're a good person, no matter where, which ethnicity you're from, which religion you're professing and all that, we're on the same side. Either there are two people. Even the bad people, we can bring them to a good side, but if you work on them, we give them, hey, what's your problem, let's, talk about your problems. Trust me, like we can eliminate that too. But the thing is, if we leave them ignored, just like the homeless people, they keep on, like their number keep on raising and raising. Why? Where are these $1 million going then? I don't see that.
And like you're mentioning problems there, we've talked about a lot of problems, a lot of issues so far in this interview. What would be your top priorities as mayor?
Top priorities I have is like, youth education, youth programs. That's the first, because if you are building, if you are, let's say you are like building this building, you have to have a strong foundation. So strong foundation is the little kids, the youth, we have to work on them, provide services, all these things, programs, have them involved in different things so they don't even look up, like what's going on. All these positive things, So when they just, when they look up, they are in a good position somewhere, just like you or, him or all of them, doing their things and, prospering, getting prospered in life, And also the homelessness, why? Because honestly speaking, I dealt with them, because like I've seen them on my properties, people with different issues, you feel, bad about them, you feel for them, they're human beings, bro, look at this, like on one side, people are going to the moon, and all these cars with driveless driving and all that, and then you see them people with all the trash and everything, needs a little work. If you work on them, you might have seen some videos about them, when the barber shaved them and everything and give him a shower and he's like a gentleman, just give him nice clothes and everything. The only thing is, we have to, when we put them in the shelters, we make sure, that like when I was like, when I was a kid, I was like in a school, where like, you are in like the hostel, boarding school basically, So boarding school is not like when you take your kids over there, and just leave them. There are teachers, they teach you everything. Hey, do this, this is your timing. The same thing you teach them. Because these people, they are just like little kids. Trust me, their brain is not working. And they're good people. If you see their, their history, they're good people. So if we work on them, because I worked with them, I work with, mentally disabled people, and trust me, when you put yourself in their shoes, they will start talking to you. And you will be amazed, they're good people. The only thing is, they're ignored. So if we just bring them in, enforce some of them laws on them, so that way they can go out, so they're there, we give them all the positive activities and everything, food, shelter, and everything. And watch after some time, they'll be good citizens.
Final question, why should people vote for you?
All these things I mentioned, hey, I'm here for them, basically my slogan is, I'm a common person. I just rose up from the bottom level, I just work hard by myself, and I always, have 99.9% positivity in my attitude, I always like that, I said, in life, everything is possible, and what I'm like, that's why I'm asking the people, if they vote for me, some of their main issues, just like I mentioned you, homelessness, I would say, give me a year, and I will show it to you practically, that how it's going to be like reduced, and they will appreciate that. And all the other stuff also, because if we started from the bottom and then it goes up, definitely, they will see the fruitful results, and they will pray for me basically later on, they will be like, hey, we had this guy, he was not just like talk, he was a practical guy, who did that for, and I want to do it for the community, because if you spend, some time, it's 20 years, a lot of big time, doing businesses and all them things with dealing with these people and all that. So I basically, I just want to help my community. That's what it is.